Alright, what's good, everybody? What's good? I'm back with another recommendation video. This is just for anybody that's gonna begin doing putaways with a forklift. That's kind of the main, or a reach truck. Those are the two main common ones. There's a couple of ways to do it, but the two most common, I guess you would say, is you're picking up all the inventory, all the pallets that are staged on the dock, on the inbound dock, and you're going ahead and taking it to a location, whether it be a bulk area, a rack area, you know. But there's this really good video. The YouTube channel is Sangre Fria, which means cold blood. Sangre Fria 21, cold blood 21, but it's just Sangre Fria, SANGRE FRIA 21. SANGRE FRIA 21. And it's a short video, very short, but it gives two really good examples of what somebody that's going to be doing put away is going to be doing. So it basically starts off with homeboy. He starts off recording, then he walks over to the staging area. I don't think it's a dock area. I'm pretty sure it's not. And the only way is because some pallets are covering the back. But yeah, I'm 1,000% sure that was not no dock area. And that's why I say there's a couple of different ways of doing it, because maybe somebody like a hauler that's using maybe like a pallet jack or something like that came to drop him off there, or somebody had staged him for him there. But basically, what the gentleman on the reach truck is doing is, you can see on second 20 that he gets the pallet from the stage area and he basically starts the put away process. Now there's a couple of different ways. It just depends on the company you're working for, but the majority of the process is all the same. You get there, you scan whatever full pallets or whatever pallets, because some might be partials, which means that they're not full pallets. That instead of, it might be only half stacked, it might only have one box, so that's a partial pallet. But for the most part, you're gonna scan every pallet. You don't scan the next 3 or 4 as well, or you don't scan anything behind it. The best thing to do is basically just to scan whatever you're going to be taking with you. But you scan whatever you're going to take, and then from there, the RF scanner should tell you exactly where to go take it. Now there are different ways of doing it, because there are some warehouses that just allow overriding. So basically you're going and you're putting it away in the first place you see. But like I said, that all depends on the warehouse. Some like partial pallets, you got to consolidate. You got to keep an eye out that whatever it says on the RF scanner on the gun, that it is what you're taking. Because sometimes, maybe the person that received it in or something, they messed up and there's a totally different item on there. So you always do want to keep an eye out on those things, just to make sure. It does take a little bit more time, but those mistakes do happen. So you can see basically he goes ahead, he grabs 2 pallets, if I remember correctly. He grabs 2 pallets at one time, and he goes ahead and takes it to the aisle. You can see that he does start doing the put away. He starts scanning before the gentleman walks up to him and everything. But you could hear him putting it into the location that he's going to put it in. And that's basically the process right there. He walks up and you can see he grabs the first pallet, the one on top, and he puts that one away. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he puts it in the same place. Let's see. I wrote a couple down in my notes. I know it goes 4 high. He puts it up on the 4th rack. So right there, you're gonna get to see an example of how high the rack is. You know. Then yeah, I just basically put in my notes because it's such a short video, but it's such a good video. Like just in general of the whole context of what it's doing. Like grabbing the pallet from the staging area or from wherever you're doing your putaways, taking it to where you're gonna put it away, scan them, put them in the location, whether it be in racks or bulk. Sometimes there's a bulk area, which means you're just gonna stack it on the floor on top of other pallets that are already there. And then it should be a double rack, like a push rack, because I'm pretty sure he put it in the same location. I didn't really see him moving a little back or forward and making another like making another location. I think he basically went into the same one. So those should be some push racks, which basically the first pallet that's in there, you can push it and it's on a rack where it slides to the back, and then you can push the next one. Those were always pretty tough to. I never really liked doing those. I like doing put away. Put away is fucking smooth because you're just basically going in and out of the dock or the staging area all day and just going to put full pallets away. You know. Obviously, if you're doing it on the dock, whenever you're coming out of the dock, just make sure to stop before you actually hit the traffic, because there's always people walking by, other machines that are driving by, you know. So you always just want to be careful with that. There's another way where there's haulers, you know, just basically people that are on pallet jacks that bring them to you, and then from there they stage them to the aisle, and from the aisle you're putting them away, and then you're scanning them from same process. Just now you're doing it right there from the aisle. You're grabbing the pallet and basically putting it away. But at the end, you see a homeboy doing the plastic. I mean, the plastic, a replen, taking off the plastic, and it's pretty smooth because that's basically how replen goes as well. You're in the aisle, you're putting a pallet away, you're cutting your plastic, you're making sure what do you call it, that you're putting it in correctly. But I got another video on that I'm also gonna do, so stick around for that. But I just wanted to give the 2 cents on both of those, on the put away and the what do you call it, and the replen. But put away is what I was doing at my last the last site I was at. And to be honest, that was always kind of the smoothest thing to do, like just doing put away. I remember I was at a warehouse in Indiana, and what do you call it? That's basically what we were doing for a good amount of time. Like we would get there, and I was in the inbound the receiver. I was helping him out with that, and I just started making space. You know, started making space on the dock, and you just start doing put away all night. You're just doing random things like that. So I really enjoy doing put away. Sometimes it is basically boring because you're doing, or you're at one place the whole time. But I mean, it's a very simple task to do. Most of the time, you're gonna be working with RF scanners. You know, basically the guns and stuff like that. Sometimes there's computers already attached to the machine that you're using, whether it be a reach truck or just a dock stalker, like a forklift, like a small one. The difference is the reach truck, you can operate it so the forks can come out, and you can get a better way of getting it too, because the way they tilt, like the forks tilt on the reach trucks for the most part, but on the dock stalker, like on the small forklift, like it tilts all together with the rail in the front. What do you call it? But I'm mostly like using the dock stalker for the most part. I think the dock stalker is better. You could either be using Yale, Raymond, Crown. There's a couple of other companies, but for the most part, those are the three most common that I've used. But yeah, that way you can see right there. I think that video is very, very good. The title of it is Eddie training video on Putaway. I forgot to mention that, but I'm basically gonna put all the details on, what do you call it, on the description and on the comments. That way everybody can take a look. But you know, if anybody's interested in anything to do with Putaway, that's basically what you'll be doing. So hope you get a chance to check it out.